If you're not happy about that, just f off and build your own E30 and send me pictures when you've done it. Oh yeah! Good morning everybody, good morning everybody. We're really near the end of this E30 now, and I know that it's been a long process, but it's been a big project, and I think we're about 5 months into it now. So considering I got this car as a bare shell, I actually think we're doing okay. I have took like the last 2 months off other content, which is why you've barely seen any Reliant videos, you've barely seen any 190 videos, and that's because I need to get this car done, because I didn't want this car to be sat for 2 years not doing what it was meant to be doing, which is drifting. So we're 3 weeks away from our first demo taxi day, and we're actually coming to the end now. I just want to say thank you so much to a lot of the comments in the last video. I was getting really annoyed at a lot of people commenting on this build. I'm not a professional. I never once said I'm a professional. I've always said it's going to be a drift car. It's not going to be perfect. But for some reason, people have just used that as an excuse to try to make me feel stupid. I've never done anything like this in my entire life. And after 5 months, I've had a bare shell. And all of a sudden, we've got a running 1UZ swapped E30. I've never done this before in my entire life. And I've pretty much done this by myself with a little bit of information here and there. So I am actually proud of myself. So all the people who've been using this as an excuse to try to make me feel stupid in the past 5 or 10 videos, which I have been ignoring, f you guys. Do you know what I mean? Like, f you. So in the last video, there was so many positive comments because I think people was seeing that I was getting annoyed. And for those people who are actual normal people and actually happy with their lives, thank you for saying fair play, Lee. And to all those people who have been trying to give me shit for the past few weeks, you guys, I don't care about your opinion, which is why I've been ignoring it. This is my car. I'm going to be doing it the way I want, and I'm going to be doing it with the budget that I have and the tools that I have and the knowledge that I have. If you're not happy about that, just f off and build your own E30 and send me pictures when you've done it. Yeah, that's enough of the rant over. We've got today's bank holiday Sunday and tomorrow's bank holiday Monday, so we've got 2 full days to pretty much get the car almost done. I don't want to say done, but you know what I mean. Because this is going up to Exhaust Works on Wednesday, and we're getting an exhaust done, and then shortly after that we're going to be getting Cooper to paint it. So we're nearly at the end, but I've got a load of goodies on the floor here, and I found something which I didn't know if I was going to find. So let's show you what we've got, and let's start finishing this build up. So you know that these are the Gaz coilovers, the custom made coilovers which Gaz have made me for this engine for this car. Now, as you know, the hubs actually come as one unit on the E30 suspension. So we've took them to Wizards of Lock and we've got a lock kit made. So they've welded the hubs or modified the hubs. So obviously the trap rod now, instead of pushing it like this, it's going to push it like this. So we're going to have a tons more angle. And so our wheel doesn't hit anything, we've got these arms from Wizards of Lock. So these are custom made lock arms, like lock kit arms, whatever you want to call them, and these are 50mm extended as well. So it's going to push the wheel out a lot further. We're going to have tons of camber, and these are designed so that when the wheel's on full lock, it's not going to hit the arm. And even better, because all of our ball joints and everything was ruined in those arms on the car, we have brand new ball joints and everything on here as well. Now the next thing I managed to pick up was a fiberglass bonnet. This is a Jeff Steel, I believe it's Jeff Steel, double skinned. So it's not a single skin, it's actually a double skinned fiberglass bonnet. So we've got, you know, everything to bolt it up and everything. And in the last episode, I have actually bought something to lift the back. So if you remember, the original bonnet was hitting the whole engine. So I did buy something to put here, but Race Car Wings off Instagram has told me something that he used to do, so we might be able to find a way around that. So we've got the arms on here. So we've got the fiberglass bonnet here, which is going to go on. We've got some new brake discs there as well, because obviously these have seen better days. And then I've got 2 new wheel bearings here as well. These were £10 off eBay, £10 each, which was crazy. I did research this company and I looked at the reviews to see if they were any good, and the reviews seemed okay. They do load of different wheel bearings for every single car. So I took the punt and I've opened them, and they actually look like good condition. We've even got a new dust seal and everything. So yeah, £10 each, which is a bargain.
So the first thing we've got to do is we've got to take off these lower arms. To get the lower arm off, I've actually got to remove the anti-roll bar, but these new arms don't actually have place for an anti-roll bar, and I actually remove all my anti-roll bars on drift cars anyway, so let's remove the anti-roll bar. Now the lower arm is held in by the subframe by this huge long stud, and you actually get the nut from the top. Luckily, I can get this with this engine in. Now the rest of the arm just kind of like slides in, but I don't know how easy this is going to be to get off. I am going to replace these bushes. I'm not going to do it now because obviously it's bank holiday Sunday, but I will replace the back bushes. But the arm, as you can see from this, it just slots into that back bush and it's held on by this bolt here. So we might have to just get a hammer on this or a pry bar and just pry it out, but it shouldn't come out that difficult. So let's get a pry bar. Holy shit! I wish I got that on camera. Okay. I forgot to get it on camera. Holy shit, I was like dangling off and it just went bang and popped out, so.
How scary.
I know, tell me about it. It's out, so I'm guessing. Oh, have you got to take that back bush off? Oh, I think you've got to take the back bush off. Unless, right. Oh no, yep. Everything's so old on this car that like nothing wants to like just come out easy, you know. Annoyingly, this bush is seized to the arm. Now this isn't ideal at all. I've got to get the car on the trailer on Tuesday, and the only day that it's open is Tuesday. So if like your car parts don't have these in stock, I'm a bit fucked, to be fair, because now I'm in a situation where if I put these arms back on, I'll actually be able to get it up to the exhaust. But if I go through all the trouble of putting these other arms on and putting the coil over it and all that and blah blah blah, and I can't get this bush, I'm screwed. Okay, Euro car parts have them in stock, so I'm going to take the risk, and we're going to, obviously I can't get it today because it's short, but I'm going to take the risk and pray that they actually do have them in stock on Tuesday. So we're going to continue, and we're going to continue putting these arms on and continue putting the strut on, because I need this front end back together. Worst case, this is going to be bolted in and this is going to be bolted in, so I'll be able to drive it up on the trailer with this one flopping around, I believe. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be the end of the world, so yeah, fuck it, send it. Let's carry on. God, I'll tell you what, these low ball joint nuts are a fucking right bastard. Fucking hell. What a bastard they are. Ow, I just sat. My shoe just went on my arsehole. You wanna fuck around here? You wanna fuck around here? Meet Barry the Breaker Plan, mate. Oh yeah. Get wrecked, bro. It is quite annoying that I can't fully bolt the arms up because obviously we're missing that rear bush. But it is good because the rear bush is literally just a slide-on bush. So I should be able to just bolt it up and get the coilover on. And then when the bush comes, hopefully on Tuesday, we'll just slide it on and bolt it back in. So I'm gonna put it in now so we can get it all ready. And then when that bush arrives on Tuesday, we can bang it in. So that's the arm on right there. So we can put the coilover on and we can actually put the trap in as well. We have actually got some lock spacers as well, or some tie rod spacers to go in the tie rod, and that's just going to give us even more lock. So once the hub's on, I'll explain what they've done to the hub and how that's actually going to give us more lock by what they've done to the hub. Whoa! Oh yeah! Woohoo! Okay, so how this works is with the hub. Imagine, see how it's really close now. He's actually put it further back. He's twisted it. Originally it was over here. So when you've got the pivot arm over here, it's going to turn like this. Okay, it's only going to give you maximum turn. When you come closer, it's going to give the same amount of push and pull from the tie rod. Is going to massively increase and decrease this turning angle. Whereas out here, it's going to just do this. This is like the rotational point here and the push points here, like the lever ratio. It's only going to do a little turn.
when you bring that as close as possible to the hub, that proportion is going to massively increase. So it's going to massively increase the turning angle. And because of that, you need arms like this, which is going to push the bottom of the wheel further out, and it's going to be skinnier over here and over, well, not necessarily like this side because the trap rod, but there's always a point where you can't go too far, because if it's too far, the trap rod or the tie rod and the trap rod is going to hit the arm. So I reckon, see how this bit here is pointing this way, I reckon we're going to have to loosen that off and turn it around, because when we're on full lock, that's definitely going to hit this arm. But I can't fully test it yet because obviously the arm isn't attached to the chassis. So yeah, let's do the other side, but that is this side on. So there's the Gaz coilovers on with the lock kit. We've got tons of adjustment for the camber as well. I've just put it in the middle for the time being because, as you say, we've got an extra 50mm on that bottom lower arm. So that's going to push the bottom of the arm, the bottom of the wheel out a lot further as it is anyway. We're going to put this in the middle because I think if it's on full camber, it's going to be way too much. We don't really need that much. I've got this on full tight as well. We've got 24 levels of adjustment on this Gaz coilover, and I have just put it on the stiffest one for the time being because we've got big, heavy V8 under here. We're probably going to want to mess around with that. We're definitely going to mess around with the rears. You might want the rears a lot softer just to get more grip, or we want a little bit less grip and we can put them harder. Tons of adjustment with these coilovers. So let's get the other side on and let's get one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to brake.
So with the suspension all back on, we can actually put on the wheel bearings. They were a little bit tight to get on, but nothing like a big socket could fix. Next, we can actually put on the brake discs, and every single time I always put on these the wrong fucking way round, and I only notice it when I'm editing.
Okay, so all the suspension is actually now on the car. One thing we need to wait on is obviously just them two bushes, which are pretty Euro car parts I've got on Tuesday, and I need to order some new brake pads. I'm not sure why I didn't get some brake pads, to be fair, but I need to get some brake pads. I'm pretty sure Euro will have them in. Worst case, I'll have just run the old ones. It's not going to be actually driving on it, it's just getting it on and off the trailer. The old ones are in there, so we're probably going to take them out soon and just push the pistons back just so it's ready for Tuesday, because I am working Tuesday morning and early afternoon, so it's going to have to be like a 2-hour job of getting the bushes on, getting the brakes on and getting it on the fucking trailer. It's going to be difficult. So we're going to crack on to the next job because they're looking lovely and spicy and beautiful. I actually haven't got the heat shields on there, and that's just because, not gonna lie, I forgot to put them on before the wheel bearing, or I thought I could put them on after the wheel bearing, and I'm not risking ruining 2 more wheel bearings for the sake of a heat shield, a brake disc heat shield. So I don't know, let me know in the comments below if I should run them or if it's not really that necessary. I did do a bit of research, and apparently the main reason for that, the discs, is to keep heat away obviously from the ball joints and stuff, but I've got quite a lot of clearance there, and also to stop the inside, well, to stop the disc getting as wet as possible so the brakes function as good as possible. But as you said, we're not going to be driving this car like in situations like that. It's just going to be a drift car. I don't even think it's going to see the road. If it does see the road, I'm not going to be driving far in it. So all these like little preventative measure things I could probably just leave off. So we're going to do the bonnet. This is a double skin bonnet from Jeff Steele. I got it for 150 quid off some guy. I think online they're about 300-400, and you've got to wait. So I'm quite happy with that. And these actually came, now Race Car Wings, who has been an absolute legend with the Reliant build, he actually told me something that he did on his E30 to actually lift the bonnet up a little bit as well. So you can actually see these brackets here. This is where the actual bonnet sits in. What we can do is we can take this off, we can just drill 2 new holes. Instead of sitting there, it's going to sit higher up, and that's going to lift the back of the bonnet up. Now I have just test fitted this bonnet and I've got a lot more clearance because the back of it doesn't have all like the skins and stuff like the metal one does. So I mean, realistically I could I could just push it down and latch it in, but I don't really want to be, you know, pushing on the engine or anything. I'd actually like it to sit nicely. So for the sake of taking 2 of them off and just drilling 2 new holes, I think it's worth it. And then instead of having 4 bonnet pins, we can just slide it into the back and put the front 2 on bonnet pins, and we can actually just use these little holes to put the thread through, and we don't have to, you know, drill any holes in the bash bar either. I think that'll work. It'll either go in there with a big washer, or I think actually might slide into this one. So let's take these two little things off, drill 2 new holes, and let's give it a go. And that is a lot better. We're literally just touching on the fuel rail, but that's pretty close at the front of the engine, so I don't think lifting the back up is going to help that at all, otherwise just risking absolutely looking terrible. So that's how it sits, but obviously I can latch it down and it's going to be literally like that once I latch it. So let's get those latches on, and I'm happy with that. And the thing with the latches as well, we can actually change, so we can actually put this side lower and this side higher, so it'll actually sit normal like that, and we can actually make it even on each side. So that's how it's going to go. I'm happy with that. Let's get these bonnet latches. Look at this, perfect. That fits through there, but the nuts don't. We might have to, say if we want to lift this side, well, we want to push this side down, so we want this as low as possible really. But on the other side, say if we want to lift up the other side, we can actually put a washer above the nut, and therefore it will just sit on top of that, however high we want the washer. But let's just mess around for now and just kind of see. Let's just put it as low as possible for now.
We can actually mess around with the height later on. First of all, let's get them actually installed. So let's start drilling some holes in the bonnet. Now with the stud lined up and the hole drilled in the bonnet, we can actually put in the latches. So we're going to drill 3 holes and we're going to hold these in with 3 little screws.
And there we go, the bonnet is on. Again, it's a little bit lifted going back. The gaps aren't perfect on either side. This gap's a little bit larger, but I don't care. It's absolutely solid. Got a little gap here. It'll increase airflow or reduce engine bay heat. Really, the engine just dumped for a bit. Through that's solid. It looks okay. Again, the gap isn't inch perfect, but it's a drift car. Don't give a fuck. So the idea is I want the bumper to sit on something, because I've played around when I'm pulling it up. The fiberglass isn't that strong there and it just bends, so I need to actually sit on something. So we've got these here, which were for the old bash bar, and if we put a bolt through, what I've done is I've welded a plate to the top. That's going to be some sort of a platform for the bumper to sit on. And we can even go one step further, we can even put a riv nut through this. So we put it on, we can put the riv nut in and bolt it through. So I think if we sit it like that, that's got a lot of spread over the bumper. We're going to put one there and one on that side, probably face them like this. It's going to be on the thicker part of the fiberglass, and we can just stick a couple of tacks in here, tack, and that's going to be our little platform for the bumper. Now I've measured it, and where we want it is where there's no thread sticking out. That's the right height, so we want it about there. So I'm going to throw a tack on there now, just like that. I think I'm going to have the platform facing forward, and then we'll be able to put a little riv nut in, and then it will never actually fall off as well with the cable ties at the side, and it will always be centered on these 2 bolts. So I'm going to literally throw a little bit of a tack on there, and then do the same to the side. Make sure it sits all nice. Riv nut it, bosh. Okay, so the bonnet is on, the bumper is on. I did put some riv nuts in there, but I'm too scared to drill a hole through here in case I get it wrong. So I'm going to do that at a later date when I've got a bit more time on my hands. But for now, obviously the car is getting exhaust done on Wednesday, so we got the rest of today and tomorrow to actually get it running and driving. So it's annoying that the 2 things I need, which is that bush and the brake pads, it's annoying that I'm going to have to do them last minute, so not ideal. So I'm going to leave the front wheels off for the time being. But what we need to do now is we need to sort out the harnesses. So I've got some harnesses here, which Ronnie has graciously given me, because I'm guessing he didn't need them. So we've got some harnesses here. I believe they're 4-point, which is awesome. Now luckily, obviously, so these are the eyes, so we're going to have 2 of these, which the bottom ones go on to, and then the other 2 are going to go to the back of the cage at the back. So the cage is all sorted, we just need to run these now. Luckily, on this side, we can still access the original seatbelt bolt. So that is literally banged in there. So that is one of the bottom ones done. That's 50% what we need to do. The other side, I just need to see where to go. So obviously we've got these big things now. The plan is, the idea is you drill a bolt from underneath the floor or a hole, and then you put this through, and then that clamps to the bottom of the floor.
But before we do that, let's just get the actual top harnesses on and let's route them around the cage. With the help of a YouTube video, this wasn't too difficult.
Okay, so the harnesses are all in on the back. I need to give it a bit of a clean and just roll up the excess. The harnesses are in there. We've locked in here, we've got the seatbelt one there, and I found a place to put the last one. You can just see I put it under there, so I've just done this side just to make sure it all fits. So if we come underneath the car, there's a big bit of double skinned metal here. Big bit of double skinned metal. So I've drilled through this bit, it comes out the other side, and we're not in the way of anything. Again, this big bit of double skinned metal here, I've not got the full plate, but we're going to put the plate in there, so it's a nice wide bit as well for the plate to grip onto. It's gripping onto that metal. We'll drill through here, do the same on this side, and that'll be our harnesses done. So that was a big day today. We actually got a lot done. The bonnet's done, the bumper's done, the front suspension's back on, the wheel bearing's back on, the front brakes are on, and the harnesses are done as well. So we can actually tick off, well, not a few things, I've already ticked them off, but we can tick off harnesses. So, I mean, we can't actually tick off because I've already ticked off the things, but yeah, harnesses are done, which I'm happy about. The car's fucking close, man. I'm praying that tomorrow it's a bank holiday, but I'm pretty sure places like Euro and GSF, it says they're open on Google, but I'm not sure if that's realising it's a bank holiday. So I'm praying, so I'm going to come in here tomorrow, I'm going to do another full day tomorrow and get this bloody done. So I'm praying that GSF or Euro car parts are actually open tomorrow and we can actually get the brakes on and have the car fully driving ready for Tuesday. And if that's the case, I don't need to, you know, set off dead late. I can get the trailer and then take my time while I can work on Tuesday and then drive up north in good time instead of trying to get there like at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. I'm still trying to find a windscreen. I need someone, if anybody, well, obviously by the time you watch this, it'll be too late, but, well, it might not be, but I'm ideally trying to get a windscreen when I'm either before I go to get the exhaust done or when I'm up there, because the car's going to be up there for like 3 or 4 days. I'm actually going to Dublin on Friday, I've got a flight from Liverpool, so I'm going to stay up there. So the car's going to stay up there. I'd rather it have a windscreen. Yeah, I need a fucking windscreen, to be fair, but I'm glad those harnesses are done. Man, we're getting so close. Oh my god, literally so close. Exhaust is getting done on Wednesday if our exhaust works. Some point the week after, it's going to get painted by Cooper. I'm still trying to choose a colour, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be yellow. It's going to look so good, man. And I need to, tomorrow, I need to put up the 18-inch wheels and see what kind of spacers we're going to run, because I'm going to run a spacer adapter. So obviously this is 4x100. It's really hard to find like good offset wheels, 18-inch and 4x100. So I'm just going to run a spacer adapter. I learned the hard way doing the S13 of doing 5-stud conversion. It's really not worth it. Just get a fucking spacer adapter. It's 10 times easier. But I need to know what size I need. I think I'm going to need like a 30mm or something like that, because well, especially on the back, like the back is way wide. The front is a lot wider, but the back is absolutely going to be crazy. So I'm probably going to have to run a spacer on the back. Not scared. But here is E30. It's actually starting to look like a car again. I still need a radiator cap because Ollie Evans absolutely snaked me. Sent me a radiator without a radiator cap, and I've messaged him about 5 times now saying, can you send me a radiator cap? And he keeps saying, yeah, I'll find one. Don't find one. So Ollie Evans, sort of shout, mate, because you sold me half apart there, you bastard. I'm only joking. I love you. You've really helped me out. You've really helped me out with this car. But send me my radiator cap, you bastard. In fact, I'm going to measure it now actually, so I can get some measurements and maybe have a look on Google and try and get some. And then tied up the wiring. Really not looking forward to that. Not sure what I'm going to do. But yeah, oh my god, look at it with the body on, with the kit on. It's going to look so sick. So I love you all, and I'll see you tomorrow.